minutes as we go along. Oh, there we go. Oh, I have to get up once I got it. You keep going. We're good. And we do not have any. No public here, because I didn't get a chair to make comments. So the minutes from the previous meeting. Do you guys want me to attach? Because I only do the first page. I mean, I don't have to print all this. It just seems like if you're in front of me, you should have something in front of me. I don't mind. We can recycle. You can recycle. The minutes. As far as I could see, were correct, and there were no additions or deletions. Anybody have any correction, addition, deletion to the minutes?
Everybody's name spelled right finally.
Yeah.
Well, April checks those. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't even notice that. I just look at the basic, information. I don't read it as though I were editing it. Okay, can we have a motion to accept the minutes from the January meeting?
I will, because the things in it.
Pat, we made a motion to accept,
Mhm.
and I will second. Any objections?
I don't think they can.
Yeah, I don't think she's can hear us.
I don't know if she can either, but we do have 3 people, so,
Okay,
or she can't talk to us.
president's report.
But by the way, Sue, that was
Oh, we have
a
2
motion to
minutes.
accept
We have a-
the January
Right,
minutes
this
and
is-
the February minutes, right?
Right, there's the
Because
February right behind it.
The February 2nd minutes too.
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't realize we had minutes.
Well, if April had sent them
Oh, wait,
earlier,
it is.
you'd know. I sent them today, late, like after lunch.
This is January.
So there's the one, these are the ones.
Well,
is it-
I'm thinking minutes from January.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have January, and then if you,
This one is from February, right there, from the opening of the bid.
the stated
Oh,
one.
right,
I
yeah.
mean, there wasn't that much that happened.
Right, do
It's
we have
just-
to,
Can you do it? Can you say
Accept that as
January
well?
Do we have to do that?
19 and February 2nd minutes, and
I
then,
don't know, do we have a formal meeting? No, it was not.
there were 3 of you.
Yeah, but it wasn't,
Yeah, but
we didn't call it to order.
oh. I don't
It
think
was not a
so.
formal meeting. It's just I think it was just a.
We're still gonna pack these in.
Right, before you said, as long as
I
there
think
were
if there's 3
3
of
board
you,
members.
and
or
I'm pretty sure
trustees
Sally
here.
joined us. So technically, if we're all gathered,
Okay.
it's kind of like
So
that.
what do we
Yeah,
do? We
we
have to accept it then?
Yeah, so that if there's
I
no
know.
meeting called, if you don't vote on anything, then it
That's
doesn't
fair, you
matter.
did not vote on
We didn't
anything.
adjourn.
We didn't vote on anything, we listened.
That's right, because sometimes you do.
Said we'll talk about it later.
Right.
Sometimes we meet and you just
Like I did
yes,
the minutes for when we
Right.
met to look at the samples.
Did you take minutes for that? meeting?
Yeah.
Yep, and we had those 2 and we accepted those 2. Because we did accept.
I don't think it matters. Wait a minute.
If
It's
it's
Sally.
nothing-
I don't think it matters if you vote on anything.
No,
We
didn't
we
vote
ran
on it.
into
There was
this.
nothing to
No,
vote
I
on.
think it's still a meeting and you should have a record of it. Is what-
I
is
don't
that what
think so.
Sally's
I don't
saying?
know. We'll have to look it up, but
I
I
will
think
put
it
it
has
down
to
there.
do with.
It doesn't matter. Still quickly call it.
Because
but-
when we were
Okay.
building that addition, we would want to have like breakfast
Information.
Hold on, turn
meetings
it
or
up,
something. And
Okay, there you go.
what?
We can hear you better now. Okay,
Yeah, I can't see you at all. I don't know why that is.
that's okay. We'll
Yeah,
make, we can
that's what I
identify
figured.
ourselves when we talk too. This is April. Okay,
I pretty much recognize your voices.
okay.
All right, where did we land with
Meeting
this
minutes.
February 2nd?
I can just put it with the other minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about I do that? I don't really, I
We
think
did, but
that.
we listened to some information and went home.
Yeah.
I don't see that that has to be,
But for.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
it wasn't a formal
Yeah,
meeting.
right.
I just did it just in case.
Right, no,
I
I,
figured-
I used it. Hey, I've used it. Thank you for recording that information. I'll just
I mean,
stick
I
them
know
together.
all of that information would be recorded by the architects and
Right,
whatever.
right, but it's
So
good
it
to
is
have
gonna
it,
be
it's good
recorded.
to have the
But I
information.
am noticing, looking back at my calendar, it looks like the meeting was January 11th, not January 12th. That looks like the second Tuesday to me.
It would have been my,
Minutes of January 11th.
And I have minutes of January 12th in there.
The last
I
month's
have-
agenda says January 11th.
It was the 11th.
We gotta change
Yeah,
that.
so,
Whoopsie. Okay, I can probably change, because we have to take the draft off of there, so we'll
Right.
change that, accept it as,
Yes.
as corrected.
Let's change, all I do is change the date.
That's not, you know, if it doesn't change the meaning, I don't think there's a.
yeah, that's just, but just to note that. and
This is
just
the type of way for the-
Right, we'll fix it.
Okay,
Well, that was a lot more exciting than I thought it would be.
yeah, really.
Okay, to look that up.
The president's report, I just have a quick question. You mentioned last month the donation from the Bank of Utica and that they were gonna, you know, that you wanted to know if it would be okay with them to use it for materials rather than, you know, for the programs that the
Yeah.
library is doing. Have they, do you know that yet?
I didn't really approach them on anything yet.
Okay, it doesn't matter. The only reason I asked is because I was thinking that most likely if we were to sponsor a program with, you know, John Smith speaking, and we would say that it was compliments of the Bank of Utica.
Yes,
So whatever we do should probably say,
yes.
Yeah.
Your board member can't get on. He's trying, he emailed you. He's on the phone out here. Something about a password.
oh,
I
Shall I
wonder what he's
tell him you're
trying-
gonna call him or?
I could. I wonder why he needs a password. I didn't include it. Mark, are you there? Or, Shar, could you send
thank you.
Scott, could you tell him I'm gonna have Shar send him the email again?
Oh, okay.
Shar, will you send the email that shows the whole thing? I only clicked the link, maybe.
Yep, I'll send it.
Okay,
Thanks.
I will. I don't know if I
Yeah.
The wonders of
On that
technology.
same question, like April cleared up some of the wording on the minutes here. You said the Bank of Utica made the donation to be used without restrictions.
Yes.
So we could really use it
Right.
for anything,
can.
right?
Which we did. We just put it in the budget this year. We just absorbed it. What I was thinking too, we'll probably rent that tent again for outside. We might put it in the front of the parking lot, so it's not as close to the bike. We might put it up over there and do that. We'll see.
It just said they would like to sponsor
Oh,
a
you
future
know.
event.
Okay. let me
And that
finish
pretty
with
much
Scott
means
here.
their name
Just
would be.
gonna send you the-
That's- I guess that was all I was
Right.
thinking, so whatever we use the money for should say compliment.
Right, I think
Yeah.
so too. We should let them know.
That's it.
Right.
Also, the Community Foundation offered, programming money, $2,500, and Jamie's been looking into not horseshoes. She's been looking into snowshoes. And they said they couldn't sponsor it ahead of time. We'd have to apply, But I could let Bank of Utica know that we just purchased snowshoes.
Sure.
So that would be fun too. So I'll have to do that.
You could
Thank
say
you for
that, and
bringing
then
that
again, they will do the same thing.
And we'll do
Yeah.
something different with the
Yeah, we
Community
could say
Foundation.
sponsor. That was my only concern,
Yeah.
that I think
But
we should.
we'll let them know,
acknowledge
right?
it.
We'll do that, right? I will do that. this week.
Okay, that was the end of the president's report.
Bank of Utica. I'm still working with Scott here.
You go ahead, and we'll talk about the.
Apparently, I have to stop talking.
So,
There we go.
Bank of Utica know what we use the money for, right?
Oh, is a
yeah.
landline?
So we should thank them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Oh.
sweet. Apparently, Scott's,
Oh, so, yeah.
Oh,
It's
the
gotta, there's
technology
the,
was-
I didn't realize I only had his phone. Oh, I could call him. I will call Scott, apparently. Am I next?
No, we need your financial reports, but we'll get
Oh,
another Scott.
You go ahead. You can go ahead with that and I will,
Okay, the expenditure and revenues report for December.
do you want a motion to accept them?
Oh, yeah.
I can make that motion.
Yes. Do you need a motion?
apparently I should have gone over to the phone because I don't have that either.
Mhm.
And I will
His phone
second.
is wrong.
Okay.
Sally, can you hear us?
No, we can't.
Sally?
Yes, I can hear you, but I had you on mute, so I
Oh,
didn't
well,
take you off
thanks.
mute.
No, she can hear us.
No,
but we
just so,
can't
no,
hear
because I got background noise here, that's all.
Oh, okay, well, we do too, so we don't worry about it. Okay, and the next item is the abstract of claims dated January 12th to February 8th.
And I will move to accept that.
you. The total is $98,814.16.
All right, who's writing it down?
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
It was what?
And
$98,814.16.
Okay,
that was the abstract of claim.
Mhm.
all right,
And I move to accept it.
Okay, Pat made the motion.
pardon?
I move to accept.
Oh, okay, here,
I can second it.
all right. The next item is the director's report, so we're supposed to wait for the director.
Now, she doesn't have down your old business, would that be our meeting that we had? Because I can't, you could decide.
Did we, I
something.
wonder if she heard it, do you know if she
I
heard
don't know.
anything from
Yeah.
Julia?
I don't know.
Because
Julia
they're
didn't
waiting
think
on
she did.
Julia to
Right,
say,
to find out.
give us some information on the contractors that submitted bids.
I could look at my email.
Right, she said that,
Sorry.
Oh, you hadn't heard from Julia about any,
like if we can vote on the bids.
I haven't. I did check
Oh,
my
okay.
email all
All right.
through the day to
we
see
were
if it
just
came up.
chatting about that, but we didn't know how long it would be.
I'm thinking, she thought that she'd have something by the end of the week, early next week, so we
Good.
should be,
So we
Yeah,
don't have to
that's
do
good.
anything, okay.
yeah.
Okay, April, you're up.
I'm up, okay. Sorry, I called Scott, but his number, and I don't think it's changed. But it could have, I do know he moved. And it came back as it wasn't working, so maybe the phone lines at his house are screwy or something. So I should have gone to the phone. I could look at my email, but Shar, you sent it, right? So,
I did, and I just got an email back from him that says he had the same link, but when he uses it, it tells him he needs a passcode to join.
and even that, so if you look on the calendar,
I can send him that one, yeah.
that whole thing, because it says there's a meeting number on that particular one, not just a link. I didn't send all of it because it goes on and on.
Right, okay, I'll go.
He could call my cell phone and then he could hear it if he wants to, if you want to, do you know my cell phone?
Yes,
Okay, if you put that in there, he could call that and then he could just listen.
Yeah,
okay.
that's true.
Okay, so here I am.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, we had COVID tests here that we distributed, which was, it didn't take us long to get rid of them. We got rid of 85 in about 2 hours. The first time, we did get 85 more later on and they went to. Okay, so Rotary continues. I have avoided as long as possible. I will be the North Utica Whitestown Rotary president this year. Yay. It's good, it is good. And because our club isn't that big and I've been there and I watched all these other people unless they have been like president, nobody else in the group. So I'm co-president with Steve. Steve Long. Stephen Long he's M&T Bank. He works there. He was a former, hey, there's Scott. He was he's a retired police officer. So between the two of us, we'll get it done. And a lot of things happen via Zoom now too, so. Okay, and a lot of my days work with contractors and that sort of thing. I did attend the trustee handbook and budget and finance. Those are recorded. So even if you sign up to go, you can watch them anytime. You don't have to watch them at night or whenever they're being offered.
Oh, that's good.
It is good. Rotary Foundation grants, management seminar, so I went to that. We won't do one ourselves. because our club is pretty small, but there are some things going on. What part of Rotary, we did sign up to do they adopt a highway. Well, we've adopted a canal spot, a section of the Erie Canal, and ours is from Mohawk Street. That's the one, yeah, right out here, right?
Mhm.
Mohawk, and then it goes to the next road, 291. So it'll encompass Lock 20.
For the
Mhm.
path.
You're right. And
Yeah.
so we haven't started that yet. New York State hasn't really figured out what we're doing yet. So eventually that's something we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we do a story walk or something to
Yeah.
tie into the library. Mid-York directors call. And that just keeps us up to date, what's going on with, are we continuing with, whatever, open meetings law, those just nothing earth shattering, but it's like usually what's happening and keeps us. I did go to a chamber event at, Live at Downtown. And Drawdown Festival, I did catch the end of it. I only did Sunday night, but that kind of ties in with sustainable libraries. And there's a group in Central New York that's going to be doing some training on that and some virtual programming, and that's kind of an Earth Day type of thing. So we'll be working on that. Janae and I kind of worked on a few things with Professional Development Day. Christian is part of our audit with Arcangelo. So we had to touch base and do this. That's ongoing too. So Char's doing a little bit of that, and every once in a while they do most of it, but then they say, oh, can you send me this? Oh, can you sign these 2 documents so we can send it to the bank and they can confirm that you really have this money?
Right.
Just little things. They don't take up a lot of time, but they take up a little. DAC meeting, which is a big meeting with New York. So there's director calls, which is like us getting together with, just a few of the different directors, say 10 of us will get together and talk informally, but the DAC meeting is actually every 2 months. And that's it's a little more formal with the Mid-York group and what's going on. So we will talk, Wanda will be on the call. She's the director of Mid-York, and what's happening, how we might be changing things. There's just little things. We get books, they come in the bags. I'm pointing that way because that's the workroom. So they come from Mid-York and we take the book and we scan it. I can't just talk very well because I don't ever do this, but we know that book is going to go to somebody. And so then it can print a slip. And you print the slip and it goes in there. This is relatively new. So if you order something from a different library, there's an actual slip that can print out, kind of like the date due cards.
Oh.
Or not cards, but
Yeah.
date due slips. So that's it's a change. It's a pilot. It's this, that. And like even Mid-York came and they dropped some lines so we can have our temporary office next door, which is not very set up, but they were here for that. So that kind of thing was on the call. Digital navigators, I did go to the part 1 and 2 of that because we're hoping to move forward that. CLRC, which is Central Libraries Resources Council. So that's our partner that encompasses Mid-York and other things. Other public libraries out of Syracuse. There's a grant, and hopefully we'll have someone that would come and do technology types of workshops here. So, but you have to have gone to these digital navigator workshops or you can't say you want to do that. All right, and we did have a very successful professional development day. We recertified for basic life support, I think 11 people. I think that's what it worked out to be. And then in the afternoon,
That's when the library was closed, right?
we were closed that Friday, yeah.
Because somebody came here.
Oh, of course they did.
They didn't say why it was closed.
Oh, we could put a
Sign
note on the door.
Because I forgot and came to bring my books back. and
There was
so
apparently a sign on the door. Okay, good. I was gonna say, we forgot a sign on the
I'll
door, but
put
we,
it extra.
okay, so it did say Professional Development Day, but there's so
Yeah.
many signs in the door, who knows if you can read which one is which. And then in the afternoon, we worked on our plan of service. So Kim and I we as a group went through it and tried to pare it down because it was a little clunky. And we did, and we chatted and we talked about a little bit of the move because it's a lot. I don't mind change, but I do know that a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I've been in this office for however, of course, they're getting used to it with me
Yeah.
here. Because some man came in, who said it? I think they said it to Kim. I'm gonna come in this library one day and nothing will have changed. And Kim said, no, at least 5 years. It's gonna change every time you come in. So it's a lot. So, I have to talk people off the ledge on occasion. All right. And then this is the sustainable library sustainability, the Earth Day. We're kind of working on that. Because I mean, just San Francisco they have so many cool things. They recycle all their food waste. It's just amazing. I mean, we have potential to try to change some things in the area. So we're getting into it. All right. So then we had the bids. You were there. You were there the day of the second. And moved from Dunham. And then we were supposed to get our pod delivered. We had a snow day, by the way, on Friday. I don't know if you guys want to know that. I suppose I can send you an email. But it was like the world was shut down last Friday, right? So it was, and we were supposed to have that pod delivered. And I'm like, I was so nervous about that. And I'm logging on at night and they're like, oh, we've changed your delivery date as you requested. I thought, oh, okay, I apparently requested this, unbeknownst to me. But that's being delivered tomorrow instead of Friday.
Who declares that?
I do.
Okay,
I do. The school,
I know. it's
like we
cool.
didn't the day before,
Right.
and Whitesboro closed on Thursday, and
Yeah.
Penn closed on
Only-
Thursday.
Only white.
I-
A bunch of them did, it was the hills.
Right.
The
bus-
hills,
the bus-
and though they did have some trouble. They knew the storm was it was when the buses were gonna be going home. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
they didn't care about the whole day, but they
No,
didn't
but
know.
They did say that, I saw somebody commented on Facebook who seemed to know that the buses were out and they
And they
were
turned
in the
around.
hills. And it was too slippery
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was
They
dangerous.
used to have red zones in Whitesboro years ago when my kids were in school, like up on Bell Hill,
Yeah.
way up in Deerfield. That's all that closed in the bad weather. The red zones that
Really?
closed.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can get
No,
away with
I
that
can
now,
remember
I'm
that.
sure.
I went to-
But we did close early also, because we were watching, I was watching, are we gonna close? I said, I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
But yeah, the
And
same
then
thing happened in Holland County.
We
too.
started we were looking at it, and we could tell, so around 4, we closed at 4. And many libraries started to close around like at 4
It's
o'clock.
better to do that.
Well, the reason why it's not so much us, is it, and we could shovel our cars out and whatnot, it's the liability.
Yeah.
It's the liability of somebody falling in the parking lot. And I think that's why things close more than they used to, but definitely, anyway. So we had some snowy weather. And then I did the CLRC at 10. And that, again, the grants that are not quite approved, but really close, like we're working with Munson Williams on a grant that I can't really explain very well, but they're doing all the work and we're just checking out the iPad the tablet.
Yeah.
So they're doing all this stuff and we just benefit. It's really awesome. I said, wow, I feel good. I said, no, they really are doing all the work and eventually we'll have to do something, but a little kickoff, but really mostly Kathleen is doing it. All right. And then, wow, just Herm and I are talking all the time. Everybody's all different people. We're just kind of trying to figure it all out and so that we can do it the most efficient way we can moving and all that.
Sure.
So, all right, that's and we will do the budget idea later, because that's kind of new business. Okay.
All right. Do we have old business?
No, there's always the ongoing.
I don't think there was anything.
And I didn't spell out anything because I didn't know how much we were gonna, I could have listed new business being, so what,
Are we
What we
talking
do
about
is-
old business or new
oh, we
business?
don't have any new business. I don't have any old, so I can move on.
What
Okay.
about questions?
So we're talking about
Questions.
new
We'll wait for that.
Pardon?
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll wait for the questions. Okay, go ahead.
New business.
Okay, new business is that we're presenting to you both the budget for you to just absorb and vote on next month,
Right.
and question and all of those
Right.
kinds of things. And then we also, and then eventually I'm just gonna say, this is the plan of service for you to absorb and talk about in the future. You guys can meet, you can say, we really hate what the library staff put together and we're gonna do our own. Technically it's a policy and it falls to you guys to do, but we usually we usually provide you with a draft and
Yeah,
suggestions.
because this is a new one, right?
It's,
Well, I
everything
looked at the
in
old one.
black is
Right.
already exists.
Right, yeah, I've seen that.
So the red is how we changed it, because like our mission statement was so long that nobody could remember it.
Right.
And then from the mission statement, our goals kind of explain the mission, we thought. But even when I was doing my director's report, you'll see I put at the top, it's hard to figure out where it goes. All these things. So we ended up with 3 goals. And we just, like 3, promote the library as an essential community resource. Boom. Like
Right.
with
And
everything.
that's it.
And
Yeah.
with programming, with the building itself, with me going out to Rotary and talking to people, boom, it's not program, it's everything we do, it's everything we do. And like, likewise, we could go on and on, but really quality resources.
No, it should be general.
Yeah,
You don't
right.
need to go and talk about magazines and newspapers, and you're pretty sure there won't be any anyway, so, you know.
Yeah,
it-
so I don't know, I mean, you can agree, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think that's
and
good.
quality resource, access to quality resource covers it.
And that's a
Covers all
human,
the other
It's
things.
a human, it's a digital, it's a print.
Right.
Right, and that means. you
It's a
don't have to
nice
change
chair,
it.
it's like
You don't
everything.
have to change it as new
I
things come
know.
up.
I mean, really, a resource is, the building is a resource.
Right.
People are resources. The program is the event tables, they're all like what you need. What do you need? We'll do it with quality. And again, this is for you to absorb. We'll vote on it.
So
We have to vote on it. I don't know,
Probably
probably.
on the changes, maybe.
Yeah, yes, it has to be an approved document, because let me
Yeah.
tell you, that's why we kind of put it together 5 years ago,
Right.
because it's a required policy to have a public library.
So in other words, we're taking goal 2 away, which has to do with technology.
We put
And
we
then
put it
update
together.
facilities,
right.
that it's safe, there's nothing to do with technology.
Right,
well,
because
quality
technology
resources.
is a quality resource.
Yeah.
It was kind of redundant.
Yeah, it
I
was.
agree.
It has a
It's
tendency,
redundant
I
for the first
think, of
thing. Yeah, it's redundant
to
goal
make
1.
sure they put everything in.
Right,
Right.
Really,
They
you
should not
can
have.
have a phrase that covers all those things.
right. So
In the
it's-
lifelong learning, we just threw, where did we put it? Oh, we put that in the mission. So we got rid of 4 because everything we do is to
Right.
create
That's
lifelong
right,
learning.
that's crazy.
But this was, I mean, it was a draft in the beginning and we accepted, we said, okay, this is what we're just gonna accept it. And we were gonna revisit and we never did. So, you know.
Oh, that's a good idea. It needs to be sharpened so that it isn't.
And at the very end
The other one's too specific.
is our motto. I mean, I heard Wanda Brutus say it, and we'll probably put it up farther. It just kind of gets stuck. We'll put it before pure libraries. So if somebody prints page 1 and 2.
Library from Twinkle to-
Wanda said it at like a library, and it's on our business cards, it's on everything. I said, wow, we never really voted on that ever.
No.
But at the time, I don't know, I just wasn't really thinking about it as
I don't
being
think-
something to vote on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I probably should have.
It's probably one of the least important things to be concerned about.
But I remember the mission, you're supposed to be able to say your mission, and everyone's like, they don't know.
Did we
I said,
have
does
one
anybody know
before?
our mission? It's on the, I printed it on the doors and everything.
What was our motto before?
It's there. Oh, motto, I think we've always kind of had, there could have been something about a chapter. A chapter, I saw that on things in the past
I
too.
don't remember.
I don't remember anything.
For all the chapters of your life, I don't
Oh,
even know.
chapters of your life.
Was that what it was?
Something like that, yeah.
So in
I don't
the
know. They're
minutes,
always a little silly.
Oh, so in the minutes,
I
you could
just
just
put that
say,
the budget was
we presented a draft.
Yes,
and the draft of this
Correct.
yes.
thing for approval at the future board.
Yeah.
For review by trustees and approval at a future
We
board.
could do it next
Right.
month if you don't have,
Yeah.
so maybe next board meeting. I don't think it's due. It
Right.
didn't expire. It probably doesn't
Well,
expire
not till
until,
September.
yeah, I would say that's when it expires. But if we just do it, then we don't have to think about it.
Okay.
anymore.
It's done.
Yeah, makes
So-
sense. And I don't think it's gonna take
I
us
just
long.
read all that one, because I'm looking for something, and I knew it was gonna be up September 22nd.
Really?
Yeah, and so I was thinking a lot of that was kind of redundant and not necessary
That's something.
to list everything
Mhm.
like that.
Well,
because
that sort of
who
thing
knows what's
always
gonna
happens
happen.
because people feel like they got.
Well, that was
Well,
it too, and it
years
had like
ago.
my name in it. I like, because it was specific to the director. It's like, well, what if I wasn't here to give you a
Yeah.
tour? Anybody could give you, it
Yeah.
says it somewhere, I don't even know anymore.
Well, the other ones are specific.
Here, please come in and meet staff. Well, we changed it to staff and take a tour of the library.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
What
that's
if you
good.
come in and I'm not here?
Right, yeah, you can't do that.
What if, you know,
Right.
Okay, so we need to be looking at,
and we can explain, Shar and I, okay, this is for your review too, I'm sorry, this is
Right.
font size 4. We did the same thing as last year, as far as longevity. And we're trying to get staff pay up, for example, we have a full-time page and she still isn't up to what they'd make at Lowe's, and she's been here 9 years. So just saying, it's the second employee down, I don't know if we want to say, but the one right under my name. And, you know, we're getting there.
Are the new ones, now, who are the 2 new people that were?
Okay, they would be in the part-time and their entry level minimum
Who are they?
wage.
What
So
do they mean?
Kristen Clark is new
Right, Kristen?
as a page, and we have Andrea Erie, and she's a library aide.
And they're both
again-
library aides, right?
Oh, no,
no,
one's a page.
Now, is she a young girl?
one's an assistant,
Um,
one's an aide.
She is not quite 30, she's late
Oh,
20s.
okay, I thought they should.
And I want to say Andrea's kind of early 30s. Am I
Someone,
supposed to say
someone
that?
saw them, were wondering,
Yeah, it's fine.
they were here when they were here getting the book
Uh-huh.
and saw these 2 people. One was coming up, I don't know, some who was waiting on her, had this girl come up to see what she was doing. She
Okay.
said she wondered if she was new, and I said, gee, I don't know, I felt embarrassed.
We do have 2 new people because, wow, what just happened?
And they asked me why.
Nicole left.
Thank you. It's like somebody left, who was it?
Yeah.
Nicole left and went to Boston.
Okay,
Remember last
that's
night?
right.
Yeah, we
Right.
talked about
That's
it.
what that's what I said, that one.
Right.
Okay.
No, we did talk about that we had 2 new people.
Right, but I didn't know, you know.
Who they were.
Right, they didn't think about it.
Yeah. Good grief, I'm sorry.
Which one
So
was
we-
the
we
one
did
that was working
increase-
on Saturday?
That was Bryn.
Okay.
Bryn is relatively new. She started last summer and she doesn't work very much. So I haven't told her yet, but I did tell Kim, her supervisor, and I told Jamie, who was on. And she said, oh, I know who it was. And we do have,
know that every crazy person came in that day and there was a long line and I was in line. She was so calm
It's a
and
long
so
line, I'll be
helpful
sure.
and so
You know,
pleasant.
you know what
I
would
would
be-
have said,
yeah.
stop it.
What would be helpful? Well, first of all, I told them we did not increase our staff.
we didn't know.
Okay.
We have the same, we lost a full-time person
Right.
and we hired 2 part-time people to replace. Right.
Okay. Now, would it be possible for us ever to meet these people
Yes.
as a board?
What would you like? We could rotate people in, maybe.
I think so.
Sure.
I
We
would like
could do that. And like, did you see Teresa and Jennifer? on that?
I know, I mean, I've seen them over and over and
Okay.
chat, but I have no idea what their names are.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could
people ask me
schedule
all the
them.
time.
I mean,
I
just
know.
let
I
them-
do, I know
Yeah, I like to know
Gal.
what they do with the position. We used to do that.
Mhm.
We used to
Alright.
have people, everybody that came in new would come in, introduce themselves and tell us what they did. So
Very
that we,
nice.
The board would know. these
Well,
people.
everybody's new to you now, because I
Yeah,
haven't
right.
brought anybody in 8 years.
No, I know, but I mean, years ago, so
Okay,
that we, because I don't come here, I mean, I can't get here anyway. But I would like to, because people ask me all the time.
who are these people? All
People
right.
that use the library a lot.
Hmm.
I just say, oh, they're new.
I do, I know, I don't know what they do,
Right.
but I
Well,
feel ignorant
You know,
myself.
we kind of,
But I think it would be nice for us to meet
I
them.
mean, we may not know the
Okay.
exact title, but we know what they're doing.
Right, they'll work with the circulation. desk.
Yeah,
You know, in all honesty, they do the same thing. It's just a different civil service.
right,
title.
exactly.
It's-
Well,
it's
this
not
one person saw this person being, you know,
Trained.
training, and she, we had a new staff, and I said, no.
We, not
Not
new,
new to-
right, our
not
full-time
added,
equivalent
added.
is the same,
Yeah.
but we have.
Well, there's bound to be turnover.
Doesn't matter if I put one less full-time
part-time,
I feel-
they're just, you
So
know.
that's less expensive for us.
But it would be nice for us to.
Okay,
keep these
so
together,
let me
so.
write that down. So I wrote snowshoes to,
There's a
and
lot-
I
A lot
want
of them
to,
probably don't work.
probably a
anymore.
No, but I
rotation.
mean, if they come in. one way or the other.
Yeah.
Just, you know, face to face where they are. and-
Sure, why
I
not?
would like to see that, know who they are.
If you
Some of them
came
were my
during the day,
students.
you'd meet more people.
Yeah, I never know whether it's appropriate to say, to introduce myself and ask who they
I
are.
think it is.
you know.
Just
Because
like-
there's no name tags or anything. so
I
you
know.
don't
Well, when
know
I
who
was getting the
people
book
are.
out the other day, I was here the other day, the girl said, well, her name's not even on here, my name. And so she said, I don't know if you can take, I didn't have a card with me because I didn't bring anything, because I was gonna take
Oh,
something.
but
out.
then
Did
she
you ask
spelled it
Dennis
wrong,
to
right?
And then
represent?
they spelled it wrong, and this and that. So anyways, one of the other girls, I don't even know the other person who knew me, came over and said, no, she's a trustee and this and that. So, and then the girl.
This is the only benefit she gets. Recognition is the life. Okay, I'll talk to some people and figure out how we'll do that, because it'd be kind of interesting for people to,
Well, just to come in like now, somebody's here.
right, but even, for example, like say, Jamie and Janae do these take-home bags, and wouldn't it be nice if so maybe a program highlight? And they could tell you what they do,
Yeah.
like some of you know Rosemary. she's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
here
I
for
know
a
a lot
while.
of the people.
But
that
I mean,
did
even
here a
some of the new
while.
people, but even Kelly's relatively new. And so she works at the information desk now, because she started in circulation, but then we asked her to
I
move
think that'd be
into
wonderful.
information
Yeah.
because she's a retired teacher, so it
Right.
made sense. But a lot of them help with other programming and do things there, so
Sure,
they
I
could,
think that'd be wonderful.
I don't think they'd be nervous or anything.
Oh,
They
no,
could
there's
come
nothing
in.
nervous about, just a.
Rotation of staff to say hi, really, it wouldn't be long.
Yeah.
So we would schedule them on a Tuesday night.
Is there anything in the projected budget? I noticed you have, the things that are going to be less than before
Let's see.
and things that are slightly increased. I assume the other ones are increases, right?
Yes, because if we look at between current proposed and upcoming proposal, these are just things in the past and they might
Right.
help you think,
Right.
is what we did.
Mhm.
So it looks so scary in percentages. But if you,
No.
but if you look, you'll see this is a very, I don't know if it's, the fact that we've just been kind of behind. Because if you look, some people who work here, they've been here so long. Like Rosemary's been with us for 29 years. This is a very long time, and Janae's been here 38 years. So
I know. I think it's
these
incredible.
are big numbers,
Yeah.
and they're, and we can't really talk about people's plans for retirement or anything like that, but this is sustainable. I don't want you to think, oh my gosh. We also have, we are rolling in from what we have in reserve. Let's go to budget too. This is just salary schedule, because obviously, like any place, the people are the most costly of anything.
Right.
So that we gave you that in details, because really, how much do you need to look at the electric bill, right? So how we did the people, we had that whole, not really a step system, but we did a percentage and we did a longevity. Or help me, the longevity.
Well, it's
Increase.
about what's written down here.
Does
where
it
says
say,
10
I
cents per
love
hour
it.
per year of
Yes,
service,
that's
which
what
I
I'm
asked
talking
them.
about that I forgot. Okay, so that's what that is, and we're doing it again this year to try to get us in a respectable,
A more competitive salary.
Right?
with-
Yeah, I
Because-
think you have to respect.
if you look at the
facts of
hourly
these
rate
people
again,
are dedicated,
people can leave and go to Lowe's, they might not, but
But they might.
they might, and we've got them all trained, so we don't want them to leave.
No.
So then, the only thing that's a little bit different,
People?
I know, right? Well, it will be 9 years for this budget cycle, 8 years. but
Yeah, but yeah.
July, I'll start my 9th year.
Wow.
What happened?
I know.
We were just talking about the age of our children. I don't
Where
understand that
have I
either. Okay, so we looked at, I need to take this. We looked at last year, and you can follow along, but we'll go through it anyway. So, like the health expenditure for healthcare, whatever, healthcare, and we didn't spend all of that. We're really, we have it at 170, but we actually only spent 134 the year before. So, and we don't have the figures, we don't have the true budget figures from the audit, but Shar kind of knows what's
Yeah,
happening
well,
for the
if
most
it's
part.
not, if you're not. you
So
don't
we
need
dropped
Then it shouldn't be in there.
And the thing is, if we do need it, we can pull it out of reserve, but I don't think we will, right? So we did lower it, because I don't think we're gonna get to that. Then we also building and maintenance, we reduced that a little bit because we don't think we're gonna get that high, and we only got to 30 last year.
Yeah.
So going to 35 is pretty good. One of the benefits of all this construction is, like, the bathrooms need work. That would be building maintenance, but it can go under construction grant. So it's a little, so that, we're doing okay there. All right, now, most of the other stuff is pretty similar.
Yeah.
We did. Oh,
Hello,
Scott, you wanna
everyone.
talk to us?
I finally managed to get the passcode. But yeah, I am noticing, and it's certainly not a lot, but I can see from looking at this that there are reasons to probably decrease both the fuel, the water, and maybe not the electric, but the fuel and the water, the telephone, the office and library supplies. And I know it's not really going to add up to a really large amount, or certainly percentage wise, it's not really going to affect the budget proposal a great deal. But for some of those members of the community who are, watching the budget like a hawk, it might, actually matter to them that we are taking note of the fact that our expenditures are a little less in certain areas, and so we're asking for a little less in those areas.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Scott,
Yeah.
I was just gonna call you on my cell phone, that's why I told Teresa to let the phone go, and then I called and it didn't go through, so you might have changed your home number from what I had. on
No,
file.
no, as a matter of fact, we do not have a landline anymore. So
Oh,
that number is, whatever that number is that you called is not accurate.
Not
And you
there.
probably need to update that in the records.
okay, well, you can email that to me later, we don't have to do it right now, but I do
Sounds good.
apologize, because I thought I was just gonna call you back, so it didn't work out.
Yeah, I think I agree, Scott. It's wise to
Right.
make sure that if people question it, we haven't really had too many
Well, we
issues with
have
that
had it in
later.
the
in the
past.
later
We
years.
get-
Yeah,
used
we don't have friends anymore, so that kind of
that helps.
Right.
Yeah,
And I remember
but
this because
frenemies.
it-
frenemies. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it does. It makes sense to be able to say,
yes,
we've cut these bills in this way.
Mhm.
That we're doing the same thing that everybody's doing, trying to make sure that you have value for your dollars, that
right.
you're not wasting money, because we're not wasting money.
Like another one is the conferences, workshops,
Yeah,
and mileage was, the
Because-
actual spending was way lower.
Well,
I don't know
Well,
if that's
Zoom,
gonna
I mean, we're
change.
not traveling, another thing is,
Nobody went anywhere.
professional fees, we cut quite a bit, we did cut it last year, but it was at 20.
Yeah, no, I was actually quite glad to see that. It's like, yeah, okay, that makes
Well, it's
a lot of
part
sense.
of, it's an allowable expense in construction grant now.
Yeah, that's-
So
Mhm.
quite a bit, I mean,
That's a lot.
our expenditure included, I don't know, $50,000-$60,000 worth of professional fees in that construction grant we wrote. Because now they realize that you need an architect and an
Yeah.
engineer and all that.
Mhm.
So we used to put a nice chunk in there because we had to pay the engineers and the architects out of the operating budget. Now,
It comes out of the construction.
now it can
budget.
come out of construction grant.
And I
So-
don't know if the conferences, workshops, and mileage will change, like if you're gonna
Maybe.
go back to driving to conferences and
Right.
things like that, or if we're gonna
Yeah.
stay doing Zoom stuff.
But we used
Probably be
Well,
Yeah.
less of driving, but
Right.
still people want to get together.
I probably will eventually, and other staff will. Right now, even our Central Library Resources Council, because they used to travel a lot and go places and do workshops. Now they're doing these consortium types of things and on Zoom. So they will offer to us even to attend a webinar that has a fee. And they'll say, oh, if you want to go to this, let us know and we'll pay for it. And Mid-York has done it with some things too, because they used to offer training. So those organizations are allotting money differently also.
Yeah.
So they're paying out entrance to things that they didn't always do before. So
Well,
okay for a couple of years with that, but you'll also notice that our staff has been here a while, and some of them will probably retire in the next 5 years. So this is kind of, we're a very high end with that, right? Because we will be hiring new people, and then some people will be leaving, and that will even out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I, granted, it's not a lot, but I can see an argument for sort of splitting the difference between the 2019, 2020, and 2020, 21 actual, and just that allows you to make the claim that, well, we'll propose 3,000 for conferences, workshops, and mileage, and again, it's not a lot, but hey, that's $2,000 less that we're asking the taxpayers for. And you can also make the argument that, granted, it seems like personnel costs are higher, but the point of that is really investing in the human capital that actually makes the library the place that it is. I mean, besides library materials, I think that salaries are the people that are here are, you put those together and that's like a good 90% of the value that the public gets out of the library.
Well, right. I mean, not that anybody else couldn't have written the grant, but I mean, we have a $300,000 grant that came in to improve our building.
Mhm.
I thought Jamie worked on a community foundation grant, which is actually going to be kind of the Bank of Utica grant. That's like $2,000 for programming that isn't even out of this budget, right? So
Right.
people can make more money come in.
Right.
Yeah.
And the quality of people that you have is, I think is what Scott's saying too.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And if we pay.
Really?
If you get what you pay for.
Yes, we can't be sitting here saying, well, you can get more money, make more money at Taco Bell. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it really doesn't. It doesn't make sense for the community to say, that's what you're worth. Go down to Taco Bell, you can make $1 an hour more. That's not the right thing. We need to be paid.
So I think that allows us to basically, make the argument that, we're trimming where we can and we're putting our investment
Exactly.
where it makes the most sense.
And
Yeah.
you're right, if there are people and people should, taxpayers should look over these things.
Yeah.
And it would help
Some
them.
will.
But what's helpful is the fact that for years, we really haven't had a lot of flack from the community. It's been
Right.
mostly complimentary. People,
Good.
people.
It really, we have had very
They
positive
love the
feedback.
library.
I mean, it's all-
We have a lot of people from outside Whitesboro that use this library consistently.
Mhm.
And that's another thing that to say, it's not just, the people who live in walking distance that are using this like it used to be, 100 years ago.
But the taxpayers are the ones that are paying for it. So.
Yeah, they are. And this is a big tax base. This is the Whitesboro School District. This is not some little.
Well, in fairness though, New York State as a whole has paid for, and so that's not just our taxpayers, that $300,000 is coming in, is from the whole state.
Right.
So most of these improvements have really been paid for, not totally, but a high percentage have been paid for by the entire
By the
state,
entire
not
state.
local.
Yeah.
Which means maintenance too. All of that is the almost that whole
Yeah.
roof was paid for. That wasn't local taxpayers paying for that roof.
And if anybody-
That wasn't local taxpayers paying for that parking lot. It was the whole state paying for
Right,
it.
and if we have
They
questions,
know that.
we
Yeah.
can say, I don't see any issue really with,
And
I
the
don't
right
see
accounting
anybody having
gives us
any
money.
legitimate
But I
complaint.
know, I've been through all this.
Right, no, but
Yeah.
that would be an answer for you, and
Right.
maybe we need like a little flyer saying, okay, this particular improvement was paid for by the taxpayers of the entire state, not local.
Yeah,
So almost all of our construction grants have been solid. The Foyer got a little strange, because we had to pay that extra out of pocket when the price of steel went up. That did surprise us.
yeah.
But we have
Well,
had
if anybody
matching.
wants to question that, come on.
But we've had like 60, 70, like this is maybe by the time it's all said and done, is going to be like maybe 400,000. We'll just go with that for the sake of argument. But that means 75% of this whole Dunham renovation is paid for by New York State, not local
Right,
taxpayers.
So that's what I think they need to know.
Right, and they don't have, like,
Well, they're
so they're
welcome.
not going to pay for the little nickel and dime redo the bathroom thing, or not like redo the carpet thing. None of that's been done since the mid-80s,
Right.
so that's a
Right.
really good deal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I need to promote that better.
Right,
Yeah.
I think
How do we
you-
do that?
Find a way. Well, we can put up a
Just put up
poster.
But
and say-
I guess with
I'm
confidence,
Anderson Cooper.
we need to, and I need to give you the tools you need, so you even
Well,
know,
if our
right?
budget's depleted, then we really gotta do it,
Right,
because we had to go through this.
yeah,
But,
but it hasn't been that close,
No.
really.
no,
And
not.
this
not
actually is-
lately, but I
A
know-
long time ago.
But this is also less than a 3% increase,
Right,
so it's 2.92.
as long as it's there. Right.
We went in the 2019-20, that was a 6% increase, but still not that. If you look at it, the percentage seems terrible, but it's not that much more money. It is, but it isn't, right?
Yeah, no one.
So anyway, you got just,
Yes, we have the opportunity.
you
to
have
look it over.
questions, and maybe, I think that's another tour I have, is to try to create like a one-page flyer showing how all of New York State helped improve our property. Literally,
Yeah, I
we've
think that'd
done
be
like
great.
9 construction grants over the course. I
Right, I
mean, the
think
last
that'd be
one was really little, but some of these have been big money coming from New
Absolutely.
York State.
Absolutely, there needs to be something, it could be a big poster
Right,
that say,
yeah,
you
that's the
know.
same, New York State, yeah.
To promote, like,
Sure.
thank you to New York
I think
State.
they'd be good to have a big poster.
Yeah.
These people-
We can, we can create
These are
like
the people
this.
that ask me things.
We can do this, and then we say to, bank, oh, not whatever, Utica Public Library as a poster maker. So we give them this, and it comes back in 17 by like whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Right,
Yeah, good
so it's
idea.
cool.
yeah.
All right, one
Okay.
page poster.
So now,
Do we have anything else in new business to talk about?
Highlighting.
is New York doing anything for, we used to have all these meetings.
We did the annual meeting. Well, the annual meeting was, they did have an annual meeting last
Right.
year. It was a little, I mean, it was good, but it was a little sad, because it wasn't very well attended at all. And that, I don't know, we'll probably do another one. Usually they're in
Well, that's
October.
our took. But I mean, they used to have workshops and things.
No, but we have lots of them. We do have a lot of trainings and whatnot, but they're all Zoom. And the trustee trainings are right now being done statewide.
Yeah.
And they're excellent. I have to say they're really good because, well, let's face it, Rebecca Smith Alders wrote the book. I mean, she's the
Yeah.
one who wrote the manual, so why
Exactly.
shouldn't she talk about it?
Yeah.
So the quality of professional development, I mean, it's not in person, but it's better
Yeah.
because you hire one person
That's
and
right.
they literally talk to 1,000
I know.
people.
Yeah.
And how awesome is that?
Yeah.
It was
And
nice to
I
meet
don't
you.
imagine that they'll be giving that up even. after-
Why would they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, because we've all signed on, we've all figured out Zoom, or we've all
Yeah.
got ourselves, and we're even talking about that too. Even here, as we set up our offices, and maybe we're gonna set up our offices with a monitor, Mark doesn't do this yet, but like the monitor, keyboard and mouse and a way to just plug in our laptop. So say our office is like, there's 3 people in our office and we're like, you know what, I need more space. I'm just gonna go sit over here in the library with headphones
Yeah,
and do your webinar over there because why not? We can be so mobile right now.
right.
Or if you got a meeting in the morning,
So
stay
we're
home.
losing our
Yeah,
personal
absolutely.
contact.
Well, I don't know. I interact with
I
people
mean, I
all
used
the
to like
time.
I used to like to meet people at meetings.
Well,
I do
right
think
now,
so.
You can't judge from the pandemic, and that'll be,
I know.
eventually that'll fade and then
But,
it'll start
yeah.
again.
You know that director call meeting we have one every week. Every Wednesday morning at 9:30. We have the opportunity to have a director call. I didn't see those people. I saw those people 6 times a year. Now we're like, this is what we call it, because they're like, well, this isn't Jack. I don't understand, because not everybody likes that. Some people like to be by themselves, do their email, whatnot. The people that like to chat and be around the water cooler, we're there. What are you doing? Oh, they're gonna lift the mask mandate. How are you gonna deal with that? You've got homeschoolers that don't want to wear masks. What are you gonna do? Oh, you know, all these little things. How are you handling it? So we're doing that little
Yeah.
Yeah.
a water cooler
Good.
talk.
And that's good.
Oh,
And
that
that's
is
what it
good.
is. I
That
said,
is
this
good.
is just a therapy, because I started it. I said,
For that kind of meeting, Zoom is still great for. phone
yes,
calls
it's
or
fine
phone
because,
calls. For like your big conferences,
It's
yeah,
right.
like when I went to
but
teacher
sometimes,
conferences and stuff, yeah, you do like to sit. with
but
somebody
this is
and
the
talk.
this is the conversation you have. You get your coffee, you got your
Right.
cookie, and it's
Yeah.
informal.
Right.
So you create that for yourself because you need it. Right?
Mhm.
Some of us need that. We need to we're auditory processors. We talk and we go through it and we solve the problem while we're talking to somebody about it. But there's other people that don't want to be at that meeting anyway. And so they don't come to that one because it's only voluntary.
Mhm.
So we're okay. I mean, I think that some people are, I don't know, I see too many people.
I haven't seen
Okay.
anybody.
I'm sorry.
We are done with new business.
Yeah,
We
okay.
have announcements or communication.
Funding.
Public.
I don't, not anything that I haven't already asked about.
Okay, there is no public comment. Does anybody feel we need an executive session?
Wow, look at us.
Nope.
No, I have a question. Will
Oh.
Rosemary continue to do that monthly thing?
Can I say that I'm really enjoying not having the executive sessions?
Yes, it's quite
Oh,
pleasant.
please.
We're doing okay. We
Remember
really
the
are
hour-
doing
remember
okay.
the hour executive sessions we used to have?
Oh, no.
You're not
Wait,
going to-
you
Here.
think that you
I
just
can't.
you dragged me into this. and
I
then I'm
know.
like, Oh,
I
my
was
God.
present- believe me, I was present at the wrong time.
Okay, so
Well, it's
Pat, what
done.
did you say? You asked me a question, I've lost it. No.
Oh,
I moved that we
What did I
adjourn.
say?
Oh, yeah, we can adjourn
Oh.
and then we'll talk.
I second it.
well, I just answered. It's-
Okay.
Somebody, I got one of those bags for the first time. 'cause
7
Sue was
o'clock,
using-
is that what you?
So
have?
good what
Yeah.
Rosemary does. those
Good enough
bags.
for
Yeah.
me.
So Rosemary does, she has it in a takeout.
Next
Yeah.
meeting is.
So she's
March.
continuing, yeah.
Oh, good, even after we open up. so we can-
March.
We are open.
Oh, I thought she was just doing it
I
because.
think it's the
we don't
8th.
have meetings.
Actually, I
Yeah, it
think that
should be,
those
because
will
there's 28
continue.
days.
I don't think
Yeah,
those
March
go.
8th.
That's my birthday. I'll be here.
No, I think Janae figured out her bags and hers are more. And they were like $3 a piece or something.
They're very good.
So not expensive.
Wonderful.
We used to spend $500 to have one puppet.
Well, that's what I mean.
Our children's programming, I do think, like adults seem to be able to do that, but we have people come, the knitters come or the crochet people, they come. And they
Yeah,
spend a lot of time here.
Yep.
So people are still coming to the library, but
Thank you all. Take care and
yeah, we're kind of at this.
have a good month.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, Sally.
Okay, I know.
Sally, are you there?
She's listening to us, yeah.
I'm here.
Good.
I think she
Here I
will
am.
continue for quite, as long as people enjoy it.
I
I just think she will, because I know with NYLA, New York Library Association.
Mhm.
they're
night,
looking-
Sally.
Because there's an advocacy thing going on. We're good, Marcus.
Excuse me, what?
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, good night.
She
Good night.
Good
is
night, Sally.
telling her little story. There's this online, they're collecting stories, because normally we go to NYLA and we tell the, they really tell what is going on. I have pens and paper. So we're creating kind of like a storybook of programming, and Rosemary, she's got some really good ones. One, I think